Hello, this is Ron Gerber of Angelbeat. Back at our HQ, I wanted to share with you some feedback from attendees and sponsors, speakers alike, about what we accomplished in our first 4 events. We were in Arkansas and Oklahoma. Absolutely fantastic shows. Speakers loved it, attendees loved it. I just wanted to share with you first some general insights on the topics that we're promoting at Angelbeat in 2019. These subjects are resonating so well with our attendees. They're reflective of all the changes going on in IT. And I'll share with my own personal take on where the technology is going. And then I'll share with you some comments from the attendees that verify the experience. And hopefully you, as a speaker or sponsor, will want to attend. And let me first start with containers, Kubernetes, Dockers. That is the most important revolutionary technology that we're going to be actively promoting, because that is the method by which applications run in the cloud. We had Sean Weisfeld from Microsoft cover this critically important subject. I'm just going to let you hear a brief segment from his presentation so you can get a better sense for what is actually covered at our sessions.
Docker Engine's one way to host those containers. We'll spend most of our time talking about Kubernetes. So what is Docker? Docker is this mechanism for me to build this container, or it comes with a mechanism allowing me to build containers. Basically what I do with containers is I layer them. So I'll typically start with a base container. So if I'm building like a .NET Core app, I'll start with a container that the .NET Core team built that has .NET Core and all of its dependencies on there. And then I just layer in my app. Now if my app has other dependencies, I might layer those on as well. And that builds out this container. The idea behind the layering is that my app can sit all by itself, and when I have to deploy my app and this other app that also have the same dependencies, I don't have to redeploy all those dependencies all those times. I actually get to keep all of that stuff around and keep that in my container repository. So my deployment packages are much smaller.
This is so important because what containers, Kubernetes allow you to do is compartmentalize, or as the name implies, contain the applications. That gives organizations greater flexibility to transfer applications from AWS to Azure to GCP, or else you can use bare metal platforms on your own internal infrastructure to run containers internally. We think it's going to revolutionize the industry. I shouldn't say that. It is revolutionizing the industry. That's why it's so important to have subject matter experts cover it in every city. Having said that, one of the other interesting things that we're finding is that internal IT is expanding rapidly as well. Perhaps not as fast as a public cloud, but it's absolutely growing, as there are many compelling reasons why organizations of all sizes continue to expand their internal storage, backup, networking infrastructure. That's driven heavily by cost considerations, by security considerations. What we also find is for applications that are increasingly customer-facing, that have a high degree of variability in terms of demand, like the Super Bowl Sunday, I guarantee you Domino's Pizza is using the public cloud to handle a surge in demand on Sunday evening, and they're just going to use their internal infrastructure to handle what I would call regular demand. There's a perfect example where the public cloud is very useful, but we also see organizations using their internal infrastructure to handle internally facing employee apps that have a greater degree of stability. One caveat here is when I say organizations are expanding their internal IT, their on-prem, increasingly on-prem, in a matter of speaking, can also include traditional colo facilities, because your finance group may not want to spend money on building a new building for a data center. There are concerns about just access to power and bandwidth. So you could take advantage of data center facilities, colo operations, and put your own servers there. That is, in real terms, virtually identical to you're running it yourself. You're controlling the hardware. You're not sharing server space in some kind of joint tenancy. What they are doing is guaranteeing the electricity and the bandwidth, but you have everything else under control. We see that emerging as an increasingly important platform that gives you the advantage of internally controlling apps that for any number of compliance, financial reasons you still want to run, and still taking advantage of the economies of scale that these data center operators can offer you. Again, as you get bigger and bigger, that becomes less compelling, but we see that emerging as a very important issue. The one caveat here, and this may come up more in 2020, 2021, is what's happening with bandwidth costs. There's still a lot of dark fiber out there. The fees charged by the carriers, by the ISPs, are really not driving any of the decision making today in terms of what applications you run on your local area network versus what applications you run on the wide area public networks. I don't see that changing for a year or two, but it's something to keep in the back of your mind as you look at where to run your applications and host them. With this incredibly compelling and useful information, we also are obviously covering security. There are new threat vectors that a changing architecture presents to organizations that cyber criminals are trying to exploit. We cover that as well. But I wanted to share with you commentary from the University of Arkansas, from the state of Arkansas, and from J.B. Hunt, the $10 billion transportation trucking company based in Northwest Arkansas. As these go across the screen, you'll see these incredibly positive comments reflecting on the value of the program, the intimacy of our programs, the incredibly valuable peer interaction, how much they love our ability at Angelbeat, my ability at Angelbeat, to structure the agenda to generate the maximum amount of learning in a short period of time. And I was especially pleased by these comments from the state of Arkansas, where they really love my ability, and I'm running all the shows, to introduce the speakers and frame it in a way that the attendees look at every one of our speakers and sponsor in a very professional and very focused way. I can tell you, people say, aren't you tired after being on the road, traveling 2 or 3 hours between each city? Absolutely not. I just get incredibly energized because I like immediate gratification. We go to the show, here's some pictures. Here you see in Little Rock. We had a big empty room, about 7 o'clock. I'm getting a little nervous. Are people going to show up? Then an hour or two later, we got a packed room of 70 people, all pre-qualified IT professionals, loving the content, getting so much useful information. So I fly back and I'm just high-fiving people, loving the Angelbeat experience. And I hope you, as a potential attendee or speaker, will have a chance to join me at our shows, which are going to be in about 75 cities across the country. Even if you can't make it, we're going to be increasing our digital platform. We're going to live stream content. We'll have a lot more information available digitally on demand. And I look forward to seeing you either in the virtual world or perhaps more appropriately at an Angelbeat event in your hometown. Thank you very much.